Yo, what's up? It's Mordecaido. I know I haven't uploaded in a minute, but I'm back now. I'm back for good. This timestamp right here will get you where you want to go if you want to jump straight into the video. I'm going to give a quick spiel on why I've been gone. I got a new job now that pays so much better than my last one. I'm making like 35% more than I was at my last job, and shit's going really good. So I finally have some more time. I can start uploading again, and I'm gonna cover like controversy videos, but this video that I'm doing right now, it's a series that I came up with called "Am I Wrong?" where basically I'm gonna take on the perspective of like I'm gonna play devil's advocate, and I'm gonna have like crazy takes that I've heard in my daily life at some of my jobs with my experiences, or just like outlandish shit that I've read about. I'm gonna take on their perspective, and also at the end of the video I want you guys to comment some below. Now, I will say some of them I'm not gonna fucking cover because, like, some of them I feel like y'all are gonna say some really crazy ass shit that I'll be like, nah, even if it's playing devil's advocate, I ain't doing it for that shit. But anyway, let's jump straight into this shit. All right, now let's just say hypothetically you didn't want to have a kid and you ended up getting someone pregnant. They want to keep the kid and you have no say no matter what. Let's just say in this scenario, for the sake of the argument, like you have no choice at all whatsoever. The kid is going to be brought into the world and it's not going to be stillborn. They're not going to get an abortion, like none of that shit. Let's just say that you absolutely had no way out of it whatsoever. What would you do? What would you do? Are you gonna dip out? Are you gonna dip out? You gonna be the absent father that doesn't exist? Like, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna have joint custody? You're gonna try and keep the relationship good with the person that you had the kid with? Like, how are you gonna do this? Because me personally, with this take, now, like I said, keep in mind this is devil's advocate here. I'm not saying I necessarily agree with it, but logically, this is probably the most sound argument, and it's kind of crazy, but it's very logically sound. The reason I'm even making this video is because this was a conversation that happened at my previous job, not the one I'm currently at. I had to talk about this. It's wild. So if you accidentally got someone pregnant and ended up having a kid with them and you had no way out of it whatsoever, they want you to potentially pay child support. The way that you could get out of this is make less money than them so that they have to pay you child support. Now I know that sounds evil. That sounds low key evil, but like if you make less money than them, they're going to be giving you the child support. And even if you didn't want the kid, I mean, shit, being spiteful, that's a good method of fuel within yourself. So, if you didn't want to have the kid, you could at least be a good parent by getting more money and making sure they're taken care of, and not having to spend as much of your own shit because you're making less money than them, so they end up paying you more fucking child support. Oh man, I mean, I feel like that's the route you got to try and take in a scenario like this. It's like some people that I've talked to about this. I was like, yo, I'm getting back into YouTube. I got an idea, and my homies were like, bro, that's so fucking evil, but that's hilarious as fuck, dude. And yeah, I don't know. So, what would you do if you accidentally got somebody pregnant? That's what I want to know. What would you do? And now, listen, like, I don't think it's that evil because I'm not saying, like, don't love the kid or anything. Like, in this scenario, the character that I am playing in this made up scenario, this hypothetical, I would, if I had no choice and they ended up having the kid, then I would make less money than them. So they pay me child support. So I have to spend less of my own money on the kid. But then also, even though I didn't want the kid, I would also go out of my way to try and make sure that they love me more out of spite for the parent where I didn't want them, and it's like it throws a wrench in my whole life. And I'm not saying it wouldn't be my fault in that scenario or anything, but it would throw a wrench in all your future plans for the next 18 years if you don't put them up for adoption or get an abortion or have some proper way of being relieved of the child. I'll say I'm gonna make sure that they love me more out of spite, since I'm not gonna be able to achieve the things that I want to achieve during that time. Like, I'm gonna make sure that I'm the favorite parent. I'm gonna make less money so I get the child support. That's the biggest number one. I know I keep saying that is step one to being the ultimate parent, with due to like the ultimate parent due to evil intentions, we'll say, the ultimate forced parenthood. All right, so in a forced parenthood scenario, this is how you be the ultimate parent regardless of your personal bias, and you make sure that you give them the most banger shit ever for their birthday. You got to get them the most banger gifts of all time. You got to get them some fucking heat. You got to put them on some new heat even if they don't know about it. Like, bro, get them some snacks they never tried before. Like, get them some fire ass shit that you know about, where you might be a little bit of a gatekeeper yourself, or it's kind of like an underground thing, whether it be like music or fucking snacks or like some small local family restaurant or something. Trade them, trade them to something, and then like regularly do that shit. And I promise you, bro, they're gonna love you more. But also, you gotta actually be there. You gotta be the true emotional support for the kid. You gotta be a parent. You can't just do the fun shit. So you gotta really help try and guide them down this path to be a better person, just so that in the end they end up loving you more. And like I said, I'm not saying you don't have to actually love the kid, but this is in this scenario of am I wrong, where I'm playing devil's advocate of someone who's like, no, I don't want this fucking kid and I'm forced to have him. So this is what I'm going to do out of spite. Like, that's what I'm talking about here. And I never said that I would be doing this. I'm not saying that. I got to make that clear. But, just for the sake of everything, I gotta reiterate, because, and I'm not gonna say what stance I have. I'm just the guy playing the character, asking the questions. All right, I'm not bringing my own personal bias into a thing like this, because this could spark some whole fucking controversy shit in the comments. It'll be great for engagement, people going back and forth, but like, I really don't care, because I believe everybody has the right to their own opinion. So I don't give a fuck if somebody disagrees with this character or they agree with it. Like, yeah, go ahead, make your own decision. Like, I really don't give a fuck whether you come at me with negativity. I appreciate positivity for the content of my videos, but if it's positivity towards a character, like, I don't necessarily have attachment to it. I may or may not, you don't know. I mean, some of the characters, it might be a hypothetical where I agree and I won't let anybody know. So make sure that you are the main branch of emotional support, also financial support, by having less money, just a little bit less money than the other parent, and you'll be getting fat child support paychecks. Your kid's going to love you more. You're going to be able to do more for them. They're going to see you as the fun parent, but also the reliable one where you could get shit done. Always let them have their fucking friends over and shit. You got to, lay down some ground rules, but you got to make sure that they're like, oh, mom wouldn't let me do this. Dad would, though. And they're going to be like, oh, I want to go to dad's. I want to go to dad's house. And in the end, you're going to win because, or at the very least, it would be a stalemate, I guess, since you never wanted the kid in the first place. Pretty interesting to think about. Everybody's got different perspectives on unwanted pregnancies and childbirth, and I don't know, I thought it was interesting. The reason that I brought this up was at my last job, not the one I'm at now, but my last job, there was someone who was like, man, I hope I never have a kid, because if I do, I'm going to make less money than the other parents, so they got to pay me child support, and I'm going to make sure that they love me more just to spite them. I was like, holy fuck. In my head, I'm like, based on this guy's perspective, I don't necessarily blame him for saying that, because like, he's adamant about he does not want a kid, and if he ends up having one, could be his fault, could just get unlucky. You could take preventative measures and still accidentally have a kid, but I'm not here to argue whether they use protection or not or anything with this dude, but you can't really blame him for feeling that way. If he truly, like, has an aversion to wanting this kid and ends up having them and goes down this route, he'd still be giving them a great life to the best of his ability, like, for notorious reasons, kind of, but in the end, it's still something positive for the child, so it's not, like, I don't know. I don't really think that. I feel like this is kind of like a justified evil. Am I wrong? Is this a justified evil? What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below, because I'm really curious. Is this justified? I mean, like, take into account, they're not going to be, like, absent even though they still have custody. Like, I'm talking about, like, they are going out of their way to do their damnedest for this child. But they're doing it to spite the other parent, and maybe they'll grow to love the child over time, since they clearly had an aversion to it and didn't love it when their wife was pregnant or their girl was pregnant or whatever. But yeah, let me know in the comments below, or like maybe it ended up being a joint custody thing. Like, I don't know. Like, maybe they'd end up, even though they didn't want the kids, stay in joint custody and then planting seeds to get them to not like the other parent as much or some shit. I don't know. Like, it could go in so many different directions. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. This is my new series, Am I Wrong?, where I take on the perspective of things that I've heard in my daily life or just random shit I've seen online. But this specific scenario was something that I experienced at my previous job, a conversation that I was there for, and yeah, I think it's pretty interesting. So I'm gonna be uploading more videos. I'm gonna upload 1 or 2 videos a week, and I appreciate all of you for checking this shit out. Seriously, I really hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you're looking forward to the next episode of Am I Wrong? I'm also going to cover some more controversies. The reason I don't really like covering too many of them is it's hard to find ones that aren't oversaturated where everybody says the same shit, just regurgitated, you know? Like, I want it to be authentic. So, like, whenever I upload those Meat Canyon videos, that's because I'm a big Meat Canyon fan. I love his artwork and shit, and I was like, nah, these people are whack. They're fucking PDFs, bruh. They're pedos. I gotta talk about this shit. How could you not? But, I don't know, I'm a scour the internet. I don't go on TikTok or anything, so I don't know. I'll look around for some fucking controversies and shit of things that I'd be passionate about talking about. And yeah, thank you guys for watching and listening to my fucking spiels, bro.